Ladies and gentlemen, please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is Abled with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands together if you are ready to get the show started. Let's go. Peace. Welcome to another episode of Disabled is Able, where amongst us is a college grad.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Got that thing done. Fredy got that thing done.
Facts.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Facts. Eli's in the building. I am Dad. I am your moderator. So, Fredy, talk to us about it, man. How was the whole experience?
Listen, it was a lot. First of all, it was cloudy. Then the sun came out of nowhere. It was
As it should.
Yeah, it was Miami. My outfit was given. I was ready to go to the beach. You know. So we started from the top of the hill next to the library, and we walked down basically the whole campus, down the hill. We met faculty members and professors as soon as we got down the big step of stairs when you enter the school, and then they were giving us our claps, our farewells. Once we went by the tent, the opening ceremony, all that stuff happened, and then they announced the Bachelors of Science and Arts. So we all rose up, and then people started going row by row by row. And I was probably third to last row because of the way the seating worked. We were sitting by our friends. So I was sitting next to one of my friends. And when I get to the stage, he tells me, he's like, let me go before you. Because if you go before me, we're going to see a difference of screams.
Right.
So let me go before you so it don't look bad. And this is what we're going to see.
So play us a clip and let's check it out.
Fredy Accardi Jr. Sedaria Perkins.
And that's us sharing our little bit of love with you guys.
Yeah, I sent the link. Everybody watched it here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It was cool. It was fun. And I didn't even hear my name. All I heard was the roars and the screaming because, you know, it was my Drake moment. I feel like this is how Drake feels.
No, this is
how
how.
really like
That's a championship.
Yeah, it was a championship.
How championship feels,
you know what
man.
I mean? Like, it felt good to walk the stage, being with my mom, my dad.
Very proud parents,
like,
man.
It was a big thing. And so, yeah, it was cool. The baby was there.
Nice. So Fredy's a graduate amongst us.
Got that thing done, man.
We're happy for you.
A Bachelor's of Science in
Bachelor's
Biology.
of Science and Biology.
So, yep.
Man.
Next step is physical therapy school. Got to sit down, find the right schools, apply, and then.
So now you can take what you've learned and help other people.
Yep.
Nice. Love it. Let's get down for the get down.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
In NFL news, I don't know if you guys heard, but last week, Nick Saban, out of all coaches, had a lot to say about this new NIH rule. It's a new NIL, so it's a name, image, and likeness, which is what the NIL stands for. So now, college athletes can make money off their name, their image, or their likeness. And other teams have really taken advantage of this, Texas and other teams. And he was doing a sit down, and he decided to make it seem like he was ethical and they were unethical, including mentioning Jackson State signed a player for $1 million.
Which is the coach, which is the school that
Deion Sanders coaches.
Coaches.
So it created a sort of like a hellstorm.
Right.
So what was your guys' take on that? I mean, because all of these programs are corrupt.
Yeah.
They've been corrupt for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they get the
And-
money to these players.
And
You know.
Alabama's not the cleanest one either.
That's my point. Yes.
Also, I think for Deion Sanders' school, I'm talking about Nick Saban. I'm sorry, he is a little bit bitter about their quarterback.
Losing that number one
Quarterback
yes
player
to Jackson State.
to Jackson State, because a lot of schools like Auburn, LSU, Alabama,
Yeah.
Texas, all those big ones was expecting him to go to
Yeah.
one of those programs, and he chose the HBC.
HBCU, yeah.
Who is a great team. Deion Sanders knows what he's doing.
Yes.
And he's putting HBCUs on the map in terms of athletically.
No, absolutely.
And first of all, I appreciate the NIL rule, because players do need to get paid off for their likeness and not eating and dorming in these bad situations.
No, absolutely. Nate.
And then the boosters only get money and not the players.
Yeah, and the school itself receives so much money
And fame.
off your image and fame, and we know that it's two main programs: the football program and the basketball.
Right.
I mean, they have other sports, but we know those sports are not bringing in
Yeah,
nowhere near as
baseball's
much
not,
money.
Right.
Baseball's not even theirs. So,
And sorry, Freddie, before you start, but what was I gonna say? Sorry. Yes, the likeness. Also, too, this could force the athletes to possibly stay a little bit longer
Yeah,
instead of doing a whole one and done. Because that's part of the reason why the athletes are doing a whole one and done.
right.
deal.
So now they may stay a little longer because their finances are not in dire need,
Right.
and
Right.
they say I could use the extra year of college.
Yeah.
And this and that because I can feed my family.
Right.
So this I think this will work out for everyone in the long run.
but Nick Saban was 100% wrong.
Yeah, did you hear
yeah,
his statements?
I didn't hear his statements, but based on what you guys are telling me, he's a little bitter.
Yes.
I don't know why, because at the end of the day, Alabama's still
And they
Alabama.
still get the most
They
elite
still
players.
get the most elite players. Like you made a lot of quarterbacks who weren't even considered top one look really good. Like
Yes.
Mac Jones
Absolutely.
was not even a top one recruited quarterback, and you made him look really, really good.
Yes.
I just think he's just a little bit salty and bitter that like a lot of HBCUs are getting fame.
Yeah.
And their schedule might not be as hard as Alabama's, and they probably face Alabama like what, once or twice in the whole year.
Yeah,
depending
right,
on
yeah.
how far they get. So the level of competition is probably not there. But even still, like college players should be getting paid, period.
Yeah, the ones who
they don't-
deserve it.
You know, and they're not going to get paid NFL money because they don't deserve that yet. But, you know, $1,000 to a college kid,
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money. And then it helps the player, too. Like, they'll be smart with their money. They learn about finances. Like, it's a learning curve because once they get all these millions of dollars in the NFL, they don't know what to do with all these millions of dollars. They
Yeah.
go broke.
Yeah, you are absolutely correct.
It helps. It probably would help the future more than what it is now. And back to the point where you were saying how I still think the one and done thing is still probably going to be as popular just because of injury's sake. Like, you know, they might not want to like risk getting injured the second year.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
But
That's
in
true.
terms of like wanting to stay, like maybe if you got to the final but you didn't win it, so you're gonna feel like damn, like money's not an issue to me, but I still want to win my
I want to complete
championship
Right.
that mission.
Right.
with my team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you
Right.
might want to stay for that motive, but in terms of injury, you might just want to get up out of there.
And we know what college football you had to say 3 years. So that one is a little different, but I'm talking about in terms of basketball.
Right.
Yeah,
we might
yeah,
not
yeah,
see
yeah.
as much as the one and dones, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
And
good
all you got
point.
to do is just adapt. Mm-hmm. Adapt to the situation, and because you can't tell me coaches like Nick Saban and Nick Saban himself wasn't putting money under the table.
Of course they were.
Yeah.
They was just doing it with the boosters and finding ways around it. But now that it's out in the open and it gives everybody an opportunity.
It kind of feels like too his dirty laundry is a little bit out there.
Yeah.
Mind you, like they're still gonna get paid the same amount of money they got paid. It's just you're giving the players a little bit more.
And he makes $8 million a year
Exactly.
Right.
as a head coach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You make more than a lot of NFL coaches. You know what I
You
mean?
better believe it.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
So for the first time this year, the Yankees have lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
They're going through something, and then they had this Josh Donaldson situation when he called a African American player Jackie.
Yeah.
I didn't see the racial.
Video or
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the racial undertone was.
Right.
If he called them the N word or something.
Right.
But he called them Jackie, and maybe that's the new code word.
Right,
For the
that
N
word,
word.
yeah.
So I can
That's
understand.
offensive. I didn't even know it was Jackie until a few minutes ago.
Yeah, so he called them Jackie, and he said it was because the African American player referred to himself as the new Jackie Robinson, and the African American player whose name skips me at the moment, he said that's not true. So Josh,
It was probably Tim Anderson.
yes, it was Tim Anderson,
He plays for the
and
White
he said
Sox.
do not. So baseball suspended him one game.
one game, yeah.
Yeah, I think it should have been more than that. I just don't like the guy.
I do agree with what Fredy was saying. I can see where people do find that offensive, and I do also think it was out of pocket.
Yeah.
Out of pocket. I've never really seen. I've seen Josh play for a while. I haven't seen any racial behavior from him in recent years. But
I mean, you wouldn't see it
No,
in baseball
Right.
as
It's
much.
because like a lot of players, they got the mic now, so you hear
Right.
what
Right.
they saying, and they're not used to the mics,
right.
so
Right.
they'll just say whatever they gotta say,
And I
then
don't
the camera
think
catches it.
they don't have, because I know like with the NBA and the referees, they tell the players like, yo, be careful because you are mic'd up.
Yes. And so when they, some of the players know they have the mic on, you know.
Right.
So if Jackie is the new term,
Then he was
then
out of pocket.
he was out of pocket. I'm just saying that was my first time hearing that
Yeah, me too.
used as a racial
Yeah.
slur.
I
Yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
that was a racial slur, but I can see how that
How,
can
yes,
become.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like,
Absolutely.
it's like the phrase monkey. It's the same
Yes,
connotation.
yes.
So like I just don't like the guy. I've heard that he's not the best teammate in the clubhouse. Like, he's very arrogant. He thinks full of himself. You know what I mean? Like, it's a difference when you think you carry yourself with a certain confidence in the team that you should be.
Right.
But like, it's a difference when like your teammates don't like you because of it.
That's
Right.
that's
So
exactly true.
I don't condone this behavior. I don't like this guy. I never want him on the team. The Yankees, I don't know why they traded for him. I don't think he was the target in that trade. I think it was more the shortstop because he's a better.
And he was a throw-in.
And he was a throw-in.
Gotcha. So what do you feel about the Mets right now? The Mets are playing well.
The Mets are playing really, really well. That's even without basically their 3 aces because they just lost
I
Max
saw
Scherzer.
it. Just
Yeah,
saw Scherzer.
yeah. So they're out for 6 weeks.
Yeah,
6
6
to
out
8
for 6
weeks.
weeks, but they keep winning. The Mets, it's all what we said before is the coach. He's having
Happy
a plan,
birthday
right?
to Buck Showalter. It was his birthday yesterday.
Yep, happy birthday to him. He's the guy. He was the guy for the team. He's teaching very old school mechanics.
Yes, and he's bringing a different culture
Yeah.
To the Mets that
That's a culture.
I'm not used to seeing.
I'm not. This is weird. This is like Yankees to me.
Yeah, they playing gritty ball.
They're not talking about it. They're not really in the media. And even if you look at the power rankings, they keep going down. They're not going up, but they keep winning. They haven't really lost as much.
Who else?
They've recently just lost. They were for a week now, for a while now. They were a team who never lost a series. They won every single series except in
recently
Seattle.
lost,
They recently
yeah,
lost to
yeah.
Seattle. But even then, they lost. But they still.
So tell me, what other teams in baseball right now are surging
The Cardinals are surging.
Okay.
The Minnesota Twins are surging. They on a 5-game winning streak right now.
How's your man Gio doing?
He's doing good. He just hit a walk-off the other day. I think it was 2 days ago.
Nice.
What other team is surging?
Dodgers.
Dodgers are still doing Dodger things,
Yeah,
you know.
doing Dodger things. I like that.
Tampa Bay is a little
Tampa-
struggling a little
Yeah,
bit.
they're struggling a little bit. I think it's because of their schedule. Their schedule is really like they're
Tough
out,
early
they're out
on.
west early on.
Oh,
So
okay,
like
okay.
that, you know, the travel.
That West Coast swing.
That
will
West
get you,
Coast is
yeah.
really a thing. So I think it's really like what I said before. Mets are still doing a thing, even though the Yankees have lost 3 straight. Aaron Judge leads the MLB
17
in
home
home
run hit
runs.
2.
They say he's on pace to get like
66.
66.
Sheesh.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah, he'll come down.
settle back down.
I think he'll settle back down by like before the All-Star break. He'll start striking out again.
Yeah.
Do you guys? Because they also said that the Yankees are on pace to get 120 wins.
Yeah, I don't think that's realistic.
No,
I
that's
think,
not realistic. The most they've ever had was 125. I believe it.
Yeah, I don't
Did they-
think that's
did they
And
get
that
that?
year, they won the World Series that year.
Oh, they
Yeah.
did? Okay.
Yeah.
That was under Joe Torre.
Okay.
But they're still in first place.
Yeah, we're still in first place. Toronto's been struggling, which is probably good for the Yankees, and
Yeah.
that was kind of the only threat. you know what I
And
mean?
then it gives the Yankees a chance to have a 3-game losing streak and not fall
And
in
not
the
fall,
standings
yeah.
And come out and get it
yeah,
together.
yeah.
How's
The-
Philly doing?
Philly
Bryce
is
Harper?
coming up there. They've been consistent, but they've been dealing with some injuries, especially with their pitching. They haven't really got like the performances that they need.
So who's a threat for the Mets in that division?
Probably the Braves. You know, the Braves always sneak around. You know,
They are
they
defend-
struggle
and-
early.
And
And
they
then
are
they pick up momentum.
They pick
yeah.
up momentum.
they
especially
are
with their
defending
pitching.
champs.
Yeah, and they are the defending champs. So I wouldn't be shocked if they gave the Mets a run for their money like they did last year. They were in the same boat. The Mets
Yeah.
were first, and then out of nowhere they won the World Series. So you
Yeah.
never know in baseball.
You never know. Long series, long season.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
All right, let's talk NBA. The Lakers are looking for a new coach.
But I'm looking at the 3 choices, and
Stotts, the guy from Utah.
right,
What's his name?
Quinn.
Quinn.
I heard Juwan Howard.
He turned it down now.
He turned it down because his sons, both of them, play for Michigan.
Okay, so he want to coach them.
So he wants to coach them.
Makes sense.
And then there's a guy named Harvey. I believe it's Harvey. He's an understudy. I think he's
Yeah.
on one of the staffs of.
I don't know who these people are. The only one I know is Quincy.
He's on the Bucks staff. And as you see with the
Yeah.
Boston Celtics picking up a first-time coach,
Right.
a lot of organizations now are looking towards first-time coaches because they want fresh blood and fresh ideas.
Yeah.
I get that.
But I think there was an asterisk with the Boston one. They knew.
Yeah.
They knew. Like he was.
They had their eyes
They
on
had
this
their eyes
guy.
on him for a
Right.
while. He was under the radar. Like he was probably like in the rooms. Like, okay, this is what you do. You do this. You do. Like they knew.
Yeah.
There's no way to know that these guys are the ones for the Lakers because
Well,
it's a
Stotts,
different
Terry
piece.
Stotts has been around a long time.
he has.
He was
Yes.
coached Portland for years.
Well,
But
yeah, he's
Quinn
going down.
from Utah has always done a decent job.
true.
But
I thought
I
there'd be a
thought
lot
Mark
of bigger
Jackson's
names.
name
Yeah.
was in there.
Yeah, I thought so too.
But guys, there are not a lot of iconic coaches around.
True.
Doc Rivers, come on.
True.
I mean, even Frank Vogel, when we was like, okay,
Yeah, but we looked at the roster and
He
said,
was like, he
"Don't
could do
screw
it.
it. You could do
we
this."
can do this. Yeah.
Right.
You know, but now, and they blame the coach. I don't think it was Frank Vogel's
No,
fault.
I don't think it
No.
was.
But
I don't
remember,
think it was
they were
Frank
supposed
at
to
all.
hire Jason Kidd, and
After the
when
bubble.
they
He
didn't,
was the assistant.
yeah, they made Frank Vogel hire him as an assistant, and you don't do that to no head coach.
Yeah.
You let the head coach pick his
Jason
own
Kidd
staff.
would have been the perfect pick.
Yes.
Because
Because
he,
look at what he's doing now, even though of the situation.
No,
we'll talk about that in a
absolutely.
bit. But he's doing a phenomenal job.
But yes, he is.
yeah, as his first year.
And
with-
his
with-
first year.
with-
Yeah.
with the
Oh, yeah, with Dallas.
And when I
So-
looked at Dallas's staff, all these guys are the 25th pick, the 32nd pick, this pick.
Yeah.
So they doing pretty well,
Yeah.
all things
See,
considered.
I think the Lakers need somebody who's gonna be firm, especially like with like a LeBron, you know what I mean? Like with these characters that are like, you need someone who's gonna
But you
be
need
like,
somebody who management is not going to interfere with.
Exactly.
Chuck Rambis and now Phil Jackson is back on the scene
Yeah,
advising.
yeah.
Too many Indians, too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
Yeah.
Right.
So they just have a disastrous situation going on in the
And
legal
even
land.
still, like, we don't know what the roster's kind of gonna look like because
Right.
the draft. The draft.
Well, they
hasn't
don't have
happened
no
yet.
draft picks.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have no draft picks, but they could potentially trade during
For
the
something.
draft.
And
Yeah.
then too, all y'all gonna get rid of Westbrook? Oh, yeah, not gonna get rid of Westbrook.
I think
Yeah.
Westbrook for Kyrie Irving is going to be the trade.
No, that's crazy.
Put
That's
Durant
not-
and Westbrook
the way
back
his
together.
mind work
That
is
is not
insane.
gonna work.
Put
He just
LeBron
doesn't.
and Kyrie
That,
back
that's
together.
not working.
Guys,
There's no way.
Y'all
that's-
don't live with me, and y'all don't see what I go through. But his way, the way his brain
That's
works
never
is
gonna work.
insane.
I mean, it makes sense because Nike's not gonna resign Kyrie,
Yeah.
so he might need to go to LA.
And LA tried to pick him up last season.
Yeah.
Yeah, just saying. Just saying. All right, so let's get to the nitty gritty of this.
Meat and
Golden
potatoes.
State is up 3-0 with an opportunity to close that out tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, Dallas was not a formidable opponent, but I think they needed
I'm
to get
surprised.
Luka.
I'm surprised.
They needed to get Luka and them some air time, some stage time.
Yeah.
They got it, but I thought it would be a more competitive series.
Yeah, no, I'm generally like a little shocked.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not even because Luka's not playing well. Luka's doing what Luka's doing. He's averaging 40
Yeah.
on 50% shooting.
Which I told y'all he was gonna do. I
Yeah.
specifically
It's-
said,
This is
let
literally what
him
I
get
said.
his
This is literally
and
what I
take
said.
everybody else out.
I said is they gonna win based off everybody else. If
Also-
somebody else gives me 20, we might.
I
win
will
this game.
admit, you did predict Draymond get fouled out. He only got fouled out
I
in the
said
game.
that.
He did get fouled out in the game, but it didn't matter because that didn't win that game.
Yeah.
So, look, we're going to sweep these boys tonight. We're going to get 8 games off.
8 days off.
8
That's
days off, sorry.
bad, bro. That might be bad.
I
That might
told
come
you.
back down to 100.
We're that team. We need the 8 days.
Okay, I get it.
I'm not surprised. We're trying to go back to the finals.
Trying to restore things.
Trying to restore things. Also, I do not think another ring. Well, we're gonna make the finals. I'm gonna say this anyway. Screw it. If we do pull off the magical championship run, I don't really think another ring adds anything to Steph, Dre, and Clay's legacy. But I do want 2 things to happen if we do pull it off, which is
Steph to win the MVP.
Steph to win the MVP, and I want Draymond's statement to come true,
Which is?
which is they don't need Kevin Durant to win the championship. 'Cause
Well, no, I think it does matter. Like,
Well, I
this
think
one
they've
probably
already
matters a little
proven
bit
their
more.
point. Once they get there, they've proven their point that.
Yeah.
But
they're
don't you also
gonna
have to
win.
win it to prove your
No,
point?
yeah, that's the icing on the cake, of course. But the fact that you went out in the first round and we're going to the finals is enough for
Okay,
you to
I see what
realize
you're
that,
saying.
you know. Now, with that being said,
It's the same thing with the
I
time.
think
Brady
another
was
ring does matter
No, it does. It definitely does with their legacy.
because of the downfall. You know, Kevin leaving. This one just
And the
validates
injuries.
it. The injuries.
Okay.
This one validates it. That's 4 titles. That puts you in rare air. Only Shaq, only LeBron.
And only as a big 3 is San Antonio
Because did they win?
With 4?
with 4 or more.
Did they win before
well,
Kevin
yeah,
got there?
right.
They
Big
won
three.
one before Kevin got there, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
won.
they
won
They
one
won
before
before
Kevin.
Kevin.
Okay.
And I'm
So
thinking
they
about-
have to win
and
one after Kevin.
To
leaves.
clarify, we're talking about modern day big 3s.
Yeah.
Like modern day big 3, the only big 3 you can think of that got 4 or more is San Antonio.
Right.
I'm not talking about the old school
Right.
Lakers or Boston. I know they got multiple, but I'm talking about modern day. It's only one other club, and that's San Antonio. Mm-hmm. And you can put it in Chicago, but I'm thinking.
Yeah, but modern, in this day and time.
time.
Because
Wait,
LeBron
did,
and Bosh and Wade only got
Yeah,
2.
they only got 2.
Same thing. LeBron
Ray-
only got
Ray-
one with his
Ray,
big three.
Rondo, and
They only got
they
one.
only got 1. So,
Yeah, so.
So,
damn,
and obviously, I
that's a
think
good
we
point.
are
That's
going to
a
win the
good point.
championship. There's no question.
Let-
about it.
let's-
This one, I think this ring matters a lot more, especially for Steph. I feel like
No,
for
that-
Steph, this ring validates like
And he needs to
everything.
get the MVP.
Yeah,
He does.
in fact. So
In the second series, we have 2-2.
Which is a crazy series because every game has been a blowout.
Yeah, which is why I can't read it.
I don't
and I
know.
can't
It bothers
engage.
me. This
But I
bothers
do think at this point, Boston has grabbed the whole of the series. I think Boston has had 2 bad quarters. 2 third quarters that were bad or whatever the case may be.
And they lost both of those games.
And they lost both of those games. I think Boston is playing better. I think they have less injuries. I think full staff, both teams, this goes 7 heavyweight fight, scuffles,
Well, I do
suspensions,
think
flagrants.
your theory about them only having Jimmy Butler was still playing to factor, even if they were both fully healthy.
No, but I didn't expect Victor Oladipo to play this well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adebayo is
there.
He's every other game, like he has potential.
Yeah, game 3 he had 30.
Right, and Hero has potential.
So what
But he
is
got the groin.
But I
he
just
has the
think
groin
Boston
now.
has the better team.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
the better coaching staff goes to Miami,
Facts.
but the better team at this point, as long as Jalen and Tatum stay healthy, Marcus Smart is healthy enough.
Yeah, he's banged
Robert
up.
Williams is banged up. But
He's
guess
banged
what?
up.
Even if it goes 7 games, they still get about 4 or 5 days off before the final starts.
If it goes 7, they only get 4 days off.
That's enough.
And if it goes no,
I think
they
it's
get
only
3
gonna go
days.
6.
They go so it goes 6.
It
They
might
get
go
5
6.
days.
I think it might go 6. I think they're not. I think the Heat not gonna lose at home. They might win.
No, I think the Heat are gonna lose at
Okay,
home.
you think the Heat are gonna lose?
Now because they all beat up, and I think the only way Boston gets out of there.
I think Marcus Smart plays for Game 5.
Yeah,
I
Marcus Smart
think
gonna
Tyler
play.
Hero plays for Game 5 as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, Duncan Robinson hasn't showed up.
He hasn't played this entire season.
That's what I'm saying.
in the regular season he played well,
Regular
but
season he played well.
in the playoffs like, he must be on the bad list.
Yeah.
You know, with the coaching staff or whatever. So I'm expecting Boston to win the next 2 games and close this out in 6.
So we have
get
8
5 days
5.
rest, which is enough for them to get
'Cause
healthy.
even-
And I expect them to come into Golden State and win that series in 6.
Because even if
How you think-
Miami pulls this off, which I doubt they will, if they face Golden State, they gonna get swept.
They ain't get swept,
They gonna get swept.
you know. How do I
Because
think
Jimmy
it's
Jimmy not gonna do bubble Jimmy.
Yeah,
Like
he
we're
can't
not
do
gonna
that.
get bubble
Yeah.
Jimmy, and it's just not gonna happen.
So Fred, if it goes to Boston, go to State, who do you?
I'm going Boston. This is Jason Tatum time. This is the closest probably ever we had to Kobe. I don't really like comparing the two, but like I see his game and it reminds me so much of Kobe.
How many?
I have to.
I think they have the defensive personnel.
He gets it now.
How
And
many
then,
games?
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go 6.
6.
I'm gonna go 6. I'm gonna go 6. Just because they would win it in their crib. Because if you go game 7,
Yeah.
to Golden State,
Yeah.
it's rough.
All right.
It's rough.
Say what you gotta say.
No, I just think the fact that they don't have to switch nothing,
Yeah, no.
and everybody can play everybody straight up, that's
Imagine.
gonna cause problems.
This is rough. Like this is probably the hardest
and they got the
series
hype.
Boston has ever faced because of the defensive tenacity Miami is on. It don't
Yeah.
matter who is defending who. The denial of the ball from Tatum and Brown, and Tatum still been able to score 30 like almost every
And
game.
I say putting
It's crazy.
Steph Curry in the
loop.
pick and roll.
Yeah, facts.
Is gonna be the key.
Because
to it.
Al Horford, he's the dark horse.
And
Hey,
he's gonna
he's the
match
dark horse.
Draymond Green's energy.
Facts.
Okay.
Facts.
Yeah,
And Robert Williams, be aware, bro, because y'all don't got a center. Who y'all got?
Oh, he gonna eat Looney
He
for
gonna eat
lunch.
Looney for lunch. Facts.
He's gonna eat Looney for lunch.
Do y'all see the negativity I had to deal
Nah,
with?
no nigga say. And then the bench players for Boston, Boston got a better bench.
Yeah, I think so. No, I think
Oh, y'all done.
Poole is the better player than
Yeah.
anybody on the Boston bench, but Grant, Williams, Pritchard, and I forget who else they got coming off their bench.
Derek White.
Right.
Derek White. Facts.
Yeah, they can play.
Okay, so apparently they're done.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was listening to all that negativity. I lost track of thought. So, do expect it to be Golden State and Boston. I have Golden State winning in 6. 5-6. I already know how this is gonna go. All right. listen, we win the first 2 games because we've been undefeated at home. We haven't lost a freaking home game this entire playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
It's also reminded me of the 2021 Milwaukee Bucks. Side the point.
Okay.
We still won on the road. Side note, nobody wants to talk about the fact that we won at least one road game every series. Nobody wants to talk about that like it's not even existent.
I think it's gonna happen.
Okay.
Okay?
We're not saying that.
And then we might lose game 5 because of the pressure, but I don't think we do because once again, we're undefeated at home. So I'm going to stick with Golden State on 5. It might go 6, it might be 2-2. We might win game 5 and then blow them out in game 6. I don't really care. Either way, Golden State wins this in 5 or 6. I'm going to stick with 5, though. We haven't lost a home game. I don't expect us to. And
I'm telling you, if anybody can do it, it's Boston.
Well, this week we're gonna find some things out.
Facts.
yeah. You press the button? Yeah, my bad.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
And then Culture Bad Bunny got a new album coming out.
Yes, it came out May 6th. It's been killing the charts, been #1 everywhere. It's basically called Summer Without You. And he made this album during the pandemic when he dropped the other albums. Like he had the thought of it, like he had the idea of it. But basically, it's basically narrating a summer love interest where like this person is clearly heartbroken, but through society and people you're around and your friends, over the summer you go out and you party and you go have a good time, and as the album progresses, it gets sadder because he's realizing that all these parties and all these like good time feelings is not addressing the heartbreak.
Because it never does.
Because it never does. So, and then doing it on the beach, you know what I mean, like with your friends, and once it gets towards the end, you kind of realize like maybe I should start talking about my feelings.
Opening up
what I
more.
mean?
Got it.
And it's given very like summery vibes, and I'm kind of happy this album came out just because like it's a very like it's a mix of all Bad Bunnies. We get like we get the trap Bad Bunny, we get the like Dominican Bad Bunny, we get the very slow jam Bad Bunny. We get a little bit of everything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's a
Nice.
good like, and there's no pressure here. Like this album, I don't feel like there's pressure to like
Live off the expectations.
live off the
Got it.
expectations. It was, he still did the numbers because it's Bad Bunny, but like, it just feels different. Like it don't feel like the other albums where it's just like, okay, he has to do these numbers and it has to be this way.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then it gives the question of like, okay, you did this concept of like summer vibe and tropics because there's a lot of like reggae samples in there. Like people have no idea where he's going to next because typically like in these other albums he leaves like a little taste of like what's to come.
Gotcha.
But there's none that I could tell. And there's basically like I don't really skip any song like from 1 to 23. It's kind of like it's a vibe,
Like a story.
Nice.
Basically.
So Eli, where can we be reached?
Hold on. We got Thor. Thor dropped his official
Oh, the official trailer.
Love and Thunder.
Okay, how was it?
It was
How's
good.
the trailer?
I like it.
When does the movie come out?
The movie comes out July 6th.
Something comes out in June. What comes out in June?
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I'm watching that.
I like it. I'm seeing a lot of critics in the MCU and Marvel fan base are skeptical about what Marvel's about to do. I'm not gonna lie, I am too. But
Marvel is confusing me,
I'm
especially
trying to
with
be-
the Doctor Strange. They confuse me. I have no idea what's going on.
I'm trying to be patient and see because I trust Marvel. They haven't really
Let you down.
let me down yet. And a lot of their movies gets like either 1 million, like 5 million, or 1 billion sales.
Gotcha.
So we got to be a little patient and see what's about to happen. But other than that, it looks good. I know this is gonna be Chris Evans' last film as Thor
Ooh,
because they're
okay.
gonna pretty much
that's
push-
hard to replace.
Yeah. So he pretty much has his replacement in the trailer, if you saw it. But other than that, I'm excited. We can be reached on YouTube, Twitter, SoundCloud, all at Disabled Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on IG at disabled_is_able. I know it's long. Don't worry. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. We guys will see you guys next week. It is finals week. Let's get it.
Finals
go.
week. Let's
Ladies
go.
and gentlemen, please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is Abled with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands